I'm Toya Lavelle, this is Toya, and in today's episode we'll be discussing new movie Misbehaviour, Westworld's new season, and a new album from Cadet. But first, here's the quick tea. Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, has just dropped a surprise album. Donald Glover Presents is available only on his actual website, and it features artists like Ariana Grande and 21 Savage. Let me know if you've heard it and what your thoughts are. Harvey Weinstein was sentenced to 23 years in prison this week. I don't think he was the only casting couch in Hollywood. However, I'm glad that he's been sentenced to the time in jail. Let it be a warning to all you other Hollywood people that like to abuse your power and abuse the women that you shouldn't be. And if you are a victim, no matter how hard it might be, try and speak up because you could prevent this happening to another woman. Do you remember Niall Horan? He is one part of the chart-topping group One Direction. Well, he just released Heartbreak Weather, a new album. Let me just say, I walked right in the other direction. This is not one that I actually liked, and I'm not even going to say that you should bother to listen to it, but I thought I'd let you know that it was out. The Golden Raspberries, aka the Razzies, is the opposite to the Oscars, where they actually give the worst nominations for everyone. And unfortunately this week, Judi Dench herself made the nomination for Worst Actress because of her appearance in Cats. But Judi doesn't mind because she's surrounded by other chart-topping Hollywood actors like Halle Berry. I mean, at least misery loves company. That's it for this week's Quick Sip. Now for the real tea.
Last year, 100 million people tuned in live to Miss World. More viewers than for the moon landings or the World Cup final.
Beautiful, darling.
Mum, don't.
Vamp UK recently did a premiere for Misbehaviour in the UK, and I was lucky enough to actually attend the Q&A that was straight after the film premiere. Misbehaviour tells a story of the first woman of colour to win the Miss World Awards back in the 1970s. As it was the 1970s, you can imagine that it caused a lot of controversy when a black woman actually won the competition.
In life.
But it's all just flashbulbs in your face.
Not so many flashbulbs for me.
I don't want you to think I'm some kind of brute that doesn't consider the feelings of women. I consider feeling women all the time.
The film stars Gugu and Bafa Raw, who plays the winner of Jennifer Hoston, and must I say, she brings this role completely to life, and she looks beautiful whilst doing it. The film also stars Keira Knightley, Jessie Buckley, Keely Hawes, Phyllis Logan, and Greg Kinnear. This stellar cast makes this one of the best comedy films that I've seen in years. It tackles the issues of racism and sexism, and also reminds people that women of colour have to fight twice as hard just to get the same opportunities.
I'm the first Black South African to take part. I'm the first Miss Grenada.
It had a lot of heart and some great scenes that had me cracking up. There was also a lot of Instagrammable quotes in there too. The Q&A at the end was not with the actors themselves, but it was with the icon or the woman who actually won the competition, Jennifer Hoston, and she looked fabulous. 50 years on, it was an honour to hear what she had to say about how she created history by becoming the first Black Miss World. It was an evening where I felt both enlightened and inspired. Misbehaviour is out right now, so let me know if you've seen it, and if you have, what your thoughts are.
I was born into this world, and my first memories of it are pain.
When Westworld first started, a lot of people weren't sure what to think about it. I started the party quite late and binge watched the first 2 seasons at the beginning of this year. It starts with a bit of a slow burner, but the people that actually stuck it out realised how complex the actual programme is, and now we're back for season 3. Now, don't get me wrong, season 2 had a couple of missteps, however, they're right back on track for season 3, and early indications are showing that it's gonna be a hit.
For my kind, there was one place we were never allowed to go. One place we were never allowed to see. Your world.
For those of you who don't know, Westworld is a programme set around humans making robots to fulfill humans' deepest and darkest desires. The problem is, the robots are able to think and feel and react, but they're not allowed to kill the humans. I mean, the programme raises a lot of ethical issues. If you're a machine and you're able to feel pain and you're able to make decisions, does that mean that you're actually alive? Should they be given rights?
Well,
Welcome to my world, Maeve.
What do you want from me then?
Delores. I want you to track her down and kill her.
The show is so relevant now because as AI is improving, I mean, what if Alexa turned around when you ask her what the weather is and says, "Say please"? If you're a fan of Westworld or you're planning on binge watching the first 2 seasons before you start season 3, let me know what you think. I mean, would you have used that amusement park? I, for one, think that she's going to get the revenge that she is after. But if you want to know what I'm talking about, watch the programme.
I played this song, I played the Support Me about 20 times today, and the 20th time felt no less exciting than the first time. I think that's an album, bro.
And finally, it's just over a year since we unfortunately lost Cadet, one of the best rap artists as far as I'm concerned. It may seem like I'm ending this week on a somber note, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Cadet was an artist who was incredibly inspirational, thoughtful, and always had us in stitches with his Snapchats and his Instagram stories. I had the pleasure of working with Cadet a few times, and I can genuinely say that he was a humble human being who basically went out of his way to do things for everyone. If you're not familiar with Cadet or his genre of music, then I'm quite certain you would have heard advice that went platinum in the UK, which he did with Dino. Before he passed away, Cadet was in the process of getting ready to promote his new album, and we saw a teaser track, Gang Gang, that got released after he passed away. And on his birthday, we saw the announcement of a release of the new album, Rated Legend. This project contains poems as well as never before seen photographs of the artist himself. The project was executively produced by Cadet's older cousin, Krept, part of Krept and Conan. It features people on the album like Wretch32, Chip, and one of our favourites, Stormzy. This is a project close to my heart and I've already pre-ordered the CD. Also, they've released a short film, Support Me, this week, which I don't know if you've watched it yet, but let me just say, shout out to the production.
Support me, support me, look, support me, support me.
Rest in peace, Cadet, you're always with us and you are officially the Rated Legend now. That's it for this week's Tea with Toya. Make sure you join me next week where we'll be discussing new album from the weekend, amongst other topics. And remember, when it comes to the tea, we #sip, don't spill.